I also see the camera guy wore his nifty vest again.
It's nice, huh?
Hey, you got any lip balm in there? I'm trapping like crazy.
Just when everyone thought the preseason hype surrounding Caitlin Clark had already reached its peak, she shocked everyone with a brand new commercial from, and fans instantly lost their minds. Some are calling it her best ad yet, while others believe it's the beginning of the Caitlin Clark commercial universe. However, nearly everyone agrees the ad is unexpectedly hilarious. This simple 30-second commercial has suddenly become the internet's newest obsession, not because it's dramatic or over the top, but because it's clever, subtle, and perfectly absurd in a way only Caitlin Clark could deliver. Before we break down why the commercial works so well, comment, see everything if you're ready, because this ad is not what you expect. The moment the commercial aired, fans immediately noticed something different about it. It didn't follow the predictable formula most athlete commercials rely on, the stiff delivery, the exaggerated smile, or the rushed ending. Instead, the ad carried a relaxed charm, smooth comedic timing, and a natural energy that felt genuinely refreshing. Then came the unexpected twist, the talking stanchion pad.
Hey, Caitlin.
Hey.
You and me, we see everything. You on the court, me from up here.
You are 10 feet tall.
Runs in my family.
The bright red padding beneath the basket, something that has existed in basketball arenas for years without anyone ever paying attention to it, suddenly became a full character, and somehow, it didn't feel out of place at all. In fact, it felt strangely perfect, almost as if this inanimate object had been waiting forever for the chance to finally speak. But what truly makes the commercial interesting is that it wasn't created in a vacuum. Instead, it's part of the steadily evolving brand identity surrounding Caitlin Clark, a public image that has grown alongside her rise to national stardom. This moment perfectly highlights just how far that development has come. The entire concept, a talking stanchion pad somehow stealing the spotlight, sounds ridiculous on paper, yet the execution makes it work effortlessly. The moment Caitlin Clark steps into the frame wearing her Indiana Fever jersey, her calm and confident presence immediately sets the tone. Then the stanchion pad begins speaking to her casually, almost like it has been quietly watching her career from inches away, which, in a strange way, it actually has. That idea becomes the core of the joke. The pad has witnessed moments that most fans have only experienced through television screens, the deep logo threes, the buzzer beaters, the defenders left spinning, the emotional reactions, the heartbreaks, and the breakthrough performances. It has been physically closer to her career than almost any person could ever claim to be. Cleverly embraces that perspective and builds the humor around it. Nothing about the ad feels forced or overly exaggerated. Instead, the comedy comes from the simplicity of the idea and Caitlin Clark's grounded, natural reaction to the absurdity unfolding around her.
Hey, you know who else sees everything?
State Farm.
Yeah, they look at everything to make sure you get coverage that fits your life and budget. I also see the camera guy wore his nifty vest again.
Her performance works so well because she never tries to overpower the joke or turn the moment into something overly theatrical. Instead, Caitlin Clark reacts with the same understated disbelief any normal person would have if a stanchion pad suddenly started talking to them. That sense of authenticity is exactly what gives the commercial its charm. The comedic timing feels natural rather than forced, which makes every interaction land even better. To fully understand why this ad resonated so strongly with fans, you also have to look at the bigger picture surrounding Caitlin Clark's career right now. She is entering her first full season as arguably the most watched player the WNBA has seen in years. Attention surrounding the Indiana Fever has exploded, while media outlets, social platforms, longtime basketball fans, and casual viewers continue tracking her every move. Because of that, releasing a commercial at this exact moment isn't simply smart timing, it's strategic brilliance.
You know what I respect most about you, Caitlin?
That I talk to a red foam pad even though it makes people uncomfortable?
No, it's that you put in the work night and day.
Has a long history of transforming athletes into household personalities. The company has done it for generations with major NBA stars, presenting them not only as elite competitors, but also as recognizable figures within a much larger cultural conversation. Caitlin Clark fits naturally into that tradition. What makes this approach especially effective is that the commercial doesn't focus solely on her basketball ability. Instead, it highlights her personality. The ad presents her as sharp, observant, witty, and unexpectedly comfortable in comedic situations. That kind of portrayal creates long-term appeal because it builds an identity that extends far beyond highlights, statistics, and game performances. State Farm isn't simply chasing a temporary viral moment. The company appears to be building a lasting public image around Caitlin Clark, and this commercial feels like a major step in that process. What makes the branding even more interesting is that this isn't the first State Farm commercial she has appeared in, but it may be the first time viewers are beginning to notice a larger pattern. It feels like the company is slowly creating a miniature commercial universe around her, where basketball culture, understated humor, and subtle storytelling all blend together naturally. The earlier Logo 3 references, the playful nods to her court vision, the dry comedic tone running through each advertisement, and now the talking stanchion pad all share the same atmosphere. Rather than feeling like isolated commercials, they connect more like recurring episodes within an evolving Caitlin Clark brand story.
Pickles. It worked! Buckets.
I respect that.
You know what else I respect? Gary at trivia last night.
It was nothing.
Hey, Gar, tell Caitlin that game winner.
Aaron Burr!
Man's a wizard.
It carries the early feeling of a true character origin story, built with a consistent voice, recognizable humor, and subtle world-building that continues from one commercial to the next. Rather than looking like a brand briefly taking advantage of hype, appears to be making a genuine long-term investment in Caitlin Clark as a cultural personality. The internet's reaction made that clear almost immediately. The moment the commercial dropped, comments flooded social media from every direction. Fans praised Caitlin's comedic timing, the creativity behind the concept, and the simple joy of watching her in a scenario that felt both funny and strangely relatable. Many viewers said it was refreshing to see a commercial that didn't depend on flashy special effects or dramatic storytelling, but instead relied on a simple idea executed extremely well. Others called it her most entertaining ad yet, admitting they were genuinely surprised by how naturally funny it felt. One of the most repeated reactions was simple: "This ad just fits her," and that is exactly why it works so effectively. The commercial aligns perfectly with the version of Caitlin Clark fans already recognize: witty, calm, unfazed, and quietly amused by the absurdity happening around her. People weren't only laughing at the commercial, they were replaying it, sharing it, and discussing how effortlessly she carried the moment without ever seeming forced. Audiences rarely connect with advertisements simply because they are flashy or loud. They connect because something about them feels authentic, and this commercial captures that authenticity perfectly. That is also why Caitlin Clark feels like the ideal ambassador for a company like State Farm. Brands of that size do not choose representatives casually, they search for personalities whose influence reaches far beyond sports alone. Caitlin brings record-breaking attention, sold-out arenas, massive television audiences, and a uniquely broad fan base that stretches from young basketball fans discovering the sport to longtime viewers who appreciate her confidence and skill. Most importantly, she possesses a personality that translates naturally on camera, balancing humor, humility, and authenticity without ever making it feel performative. From a marketing perspective, she represents a rare combination: an athlete who is both exceptional within her sport and compelling outside of it. That is exactly the kind of public figure companies can build long-term narratives around. Moments like this matter far more than many people realize because athletic greatness alone does not create cultural icons. Visibility, relatability, personality, and storytelling all play enormous roles. Legends such as Michael Jordan, Serena Williams, Sue Bird, and Diana Taurasi expanded their influence far beyond statistics and championships by building identities audiences connected with emotionally. Caitlin Clark appears to be doing something very similar, but at a much faster pace than most athletes ever experience. Every interview, every commercial, and every memorable public moment continues expanding her cultural footprint. What makes this particular advertisement stand out from typical athlete endorsements is how naturally it fits her personality. Many athlete commercials fail because the scripts feel generic, the performances feel stiff, and the humor feels artificial. This ad avoids all of those problems. The humor matches Caitlin's personality, the pacing complements her natural delivery, and the setting feels familiar instead of overly staged. Everything comes together in a way that feels organic, entertaining, and refreshingly genuine. Because of that, audiences remember it not as a commercial desperately trying to go viral, but as something that simply felt enjoyable to watch. State Farm didn't just release another advertisement featuring Caitlin Clark, they added another chapter to a growing, connected world that blends basketball culture, personality, and understated humor in a way very few athletes can successfully carry. If this is truly the direction they are building toward, the Caitlin Clark commercial universe could become a real phenomenon much sooner than anyone expected. So now the real question becomes, did this commercial change the way you see Caitlin Clark, or did it simply make you look at the stanchion pad completely differently? Let me know in the comments. And if you want more deep dive storytelling, behind the scenes analysis, and updates surrounding Indiana Fever basketball, make sure you subscribe, because the next chapter is coming fast.